You have to have wisdom, faith, love, and certitude. Then accidents will never befall you, and you will grow in His protection. Then evil will not come to you. You must think about this. The sheikh is like the mother fish, who opens her mouth to protect her children. If the children hold on to the sheikh, he will protect them.
And Winfield for Route 52.
Wasn't Bawa Muhaiyaddeen one of those gurus from the Eastern tradition? This is the West, you know. Anyway, he was talking about ancient times. He wasn't talking about now.
No way, I don't buy for 1 minute that this is a case of that was then and this is now. In the introduction of the book of Muhaiyaddeen, Bawa says, and I quote, seasons may change, time may change, hours and minutes may change, desire and creation may change, but the truth never changes.
You hear that? The truth never changes.
Everything changes. And guess what? You'll never convince me otherwise.
Well, then we wish you well on your path, my friend. We are going to follow the path of true and wise human beings. Guess this is where we part ways. Good luck to you.
My babies, come into my heart.
This Bawa Muhaiyaddeen really does his work well.
Bing, bang, walla walla, bing bang, ooh, bing bang, walla walla, bing bang, funny money. Funny money. Did I say ooh? Money.
No doubt. It just resonates.
Was wisdom without love is a dangerous thing, and love without wisdom is a dangerous thing. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
If we can unite love with wisdom and wisdom with love, that is a path worth traveling.
Did I say ha?
You said it.
You'll all come running and sniveling back to me at the end, because what I'm offering is far more valuable than all.
Yeah, well, lots of luck. Get out, get out.
Like, he really came here to save the world from destruction. Because this is the time. It's like, I mean, it's going. And it's going fast. And, like, I asked him, how can I personally, like, stop the destruction? Is there anything I can do personally? And he smiled and he looked at me and he goes, well, sit next to me and translate. So that's what I did. Like, and I'm still doing it. I'm still like, as much as I can, I sit next to him and I translate because I don't want the world to be destroyed. What he came to do, he was sent, like just like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent at a desperate time. Bawa was sent at this time.
Yes. And what about this kind of what Bawa say to you? This about translate as the opportunity to do something about. How do you feel this kind of experience to be in front of him and also in front of the people, in front of the community?
I don't feel anything because like I'm not the one doing the translation. Like Bawa's the one doing it. Like when I do it, it's wrong. And like when Bawa comes, and he himself said, like he's the one that's doing the translation, not me. Because I didn't know any Tamil when I met him. He taught me every single word. And then 6 months later, like he's telling, translate. Can't learn a language in 6 months. Maybe if you're 4 years old you can, but like I was not 4 years old. So, I'm saying, oh my God, I can't. But no, do it. Right? And so one day I heard that one of the older ladies here was, she wanted to read one of Bawa's books in Tamil. And, she could understand spoken Tamil, but couldn't read. So she went to Bawa to say, what should I do? I really want to read this book. So he put his hand on her head. And then she could read. And the minute I heard her story, I ran to him and I said, Bawa, if you want me to translate, you have to put your hand on my head.
Oh, really?
And that's what he put his hand on my head, and it was like a book opening in my heart. And it didn't mean that I gave up like learning. I'm still like really, really trying to learn because I still, I have so many deficiencies. It's not funny. But he is the one doing it. I don't do it. I do not do it.
My question is over.
Good.
I think this is the best place right here. And if you listen to the recordings, you'll hear the chiming. He wanted a clock that chimed. So we always have a clock in Bawa's room that chimes. And he actually said that the ticking of the clock should be heard because that, he said, Shaitan doesn't like it because it's like the zikr that's constantly going on. So, Bawa recommended that you have a clock in your house where you can actually hear the ticking sound also. So, that's an interesting thing.
And when you are here, what do you remember? What do you feel? Here, many kind of objects, the clock, this painting of Burak and the Kaaba, and these flags.
Yeah.
And
Well, just, coming into this room is really coming into, the space where we spent many hours with Bawa. And so, it was part of his teaching with us was to keep us very close to him as his children. So I feel myself as, living with Bawa and experiencing that we've kept this room the same so that other people can experience that when they come in and they say, oh, this is a bed where he lived, and they can feel that closeness also, something that Bawa invited us into, his personal life, and we were always with him, and he didn't distinguish between different people could only come in here. No, everyone came into this room. Everyone was invited into this room with Bawa. Everyone was invited into his heart. Touch them. And they were getting so worn out that we took them away from there now. But, one of the things that was part of the life being in here is how we all wanted to do something for Bawa. We were so eager to do something for him because he was giving so much to us. So if you were sitting by Bawa's bed and he was getting out of his bed, then you would rush over to put the slippers up. So you could be the person to put Bawa's slippers for him. So they're very, they help us with that memory, and people have really a beautiful feeling of Bawa's, presence with seeing his shoes. So on Tuesday evening, we gather together and we read Bawa's book, Resonance of Allah. So that's something too that we do from time to time. We'll have readings of Bawa's books, and everyone has a chance who comes during that evening to sit and have a chance to read a part of that reading for that night. And we find too that just the reading out loud of Bawa's books is very helpful and meaningful, because when you're by yourself and you're just reading it, your mind might get distracted, or you might think of other things. But as a group, as we sit and read it together, we find that, the resonance of the words and the meaning, becomes clear. And quite often afterwards, we'll share something of what happened to us during that reading, or some way that reading in itself that evening affected us according to our experience that we're having in our daily life. Mm-hmm. So it's,
It's the Bawa's recordings.
Yeah, well, this is the anniversary weekend, so these are special recordings that people make just to have them for sale on this weekend. And so, for instance, this here is the celebration CD. You can have one of those. Everyone gets that as a gift. So every year they have an anniversary CD, mm-hmm. which everyone gets as a gift. And then as it's a big fundraising weekend, we try to have a lot of things available for people to purchase to help towards the supporting the different the video and audio departments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the books are also, all the paperback books are all half price on this weekend. Mm-hmm. So.
To sing her song to you. My babies, come into my heart. It's safe and it's warm here inside. My babies, come into my heart. The one place you always can hide. Swimming in the ocean in the sparkling sea. All the other fishies are swimming with me. Down to the bottom, up to the top, round and around they go. Swimming with my brothers and sisters so free. Uh-oh, there's a great big fishy looking hungrily. Swim for their mummy, her mouth's open wide. Hurry now, in they go. My babies, come into my heart. It's safe and it's warm here inside.